Hey everyone, Richard here. I hope you enjoyed that little bit in the beginning. I didn't film as much as I thought I would, but I figured I'd throw it in there. Why not? But welcome to another comic haul. This is my 50th comic haul. So sort of fitting that it happens to be from one of my favorite conventions of all time. I hit it every year. I've been going for the last 4 years. And I've never had a bad experience there. I look forward to it every year. But let's just get into it. Enough with the introductions, I guess. We're going to start with the books I got signed, I think. So yeah, first up, I got this right here signed, Star Wars 38. It was signed by Michael Golden, right here in blue paint marker. I was actually the first person in line for him. Super nice, real eager to talk. He kind of made the comment that he hates these paint pens. He had one ruined a book at one point, and now he's always afraid to use them. He was offering COAs with his book, his signings, for like $1 extra, so I figured why not. Plus it has another signature of him right there. Yeah. So after him, I went to see Bob Layton. Definitely a strong-minded, strong-headed character, but super fun to talk to. I got this signed right here in yellow. He made it very clear that he hates the paint markers. In fact, I don't think he'll be using them again after this. But very happy about that. I actually got this one signed from Mr. Rigormortis 86. I've already showed it to him, and he gave me the okay to show it on here, so I figured why not. I got it signed right there. I had actually asked him to sign it down here, and he basically told me, no, I don't want to cover up the detail on the arm, and he just put it up here out of his own choice. I didn't really have much to say at that point, but, you know, it is what it is. He was really enthusiastic about seeing this book. They didn't give him a copy. He thinks it's the first one he had ever seen, actually, in the wild, and definitely the first one he had ever signed, so he was actually genuinely excited to see it, which was kind of fun. And then after that book, he said he didn't want to use the paint marker anymore. So I had him sign this for me. He wanted to do it in black Sharpie, and I was like, I really don't want black Sharpie, so I had him sign it on the first page. I'll take it out and show you guys. Right there. He was actually pretty happy about signing on the first page. He says not enough people ask him to do that anymore, and it always sort of gives him, you know, a nice feeling when he gets to do that. Reminds him of the old days. But yeah, that's all I got signed from him. After him, I went and saw Joe Rubinstein. I actually planned to have him sign more things, but I decided to be a little more thrifty with my money. I had him sign this. This is my reader copy, but it's my favorite copy, and it's signed by him right here in blue. He kind of made a funny comment that he actually hated working on this book. Really likes the character, but the book was a pain for him. It has all the Avengers in it and a ton of baddies, and he said he just spent so much time on it, and he was so thankful to be done with it. He hated the book, but he loved the character, which I just thought was kind of fun. And when I actually got up to his booth, he didn't have very many people waiting for him, and I actually caught him finishing up this, and I complimented on it, and he said it was for sale, and I bought it right then on the spot. Sketched by him and inked by him. Just awesome X-23 piece. And then the last thing I got signed while I was there, my on-card, skiff guard, Lando Calrissian, signed by Billy Dee Williams right here in blue. I was going to have him use one of my paint pens, but he was kind of adamant about using his own markers, and I didn't want to push the point. Very, very classy guy. Doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does talk, you listen. It was all about the fist pound. Not much of a handshaker, but really great experience meeting him. And then I guess we'll get to the books I picked up. I only hit a few booths this year. Like I said, I didn't have a ton of money, and I wanted to stretch as far as I could. So this first booth, I only spent $10 there, but I got some cool stuff. Picked up this, Alien, the Illustrated Story. Technically the first appearance of Ellen Ripley and Xenomorphs in comics, but it's magazine format, so it doesn't necessarily get the, I guess, credit it should, but still really cool book to get. And the art in it is just gorgeous. Actually, I'll show you guys a panel from it. Let's see. Let's go with this one. Just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful book. Then I also got this from that same booth. Aliens #1. First appearance of Newt, and I believe it's also the first appearance of Hicks in comics. I'm a big fan of Aliens. It's one of the first horror movies I ever watched. I used to have a lot more collectibles of it, but I sold them off a long time ago. Still really, really happy to have that. I got this from that booth as well. Star Wars 58. I mainly picked it up because of the date stamp up here. But it was only like $2, so I couldn't really complain. And the last book from that booth, probably the biggest book, Star Wars 49, Last Jedi. I've found several of these. I usually pick them up when I see them. This one has a date stamp on it, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll keep it. I might sell it because I seem to run into them so frequently, but still really happy to get that. And then I went to another booth. And I got several books there. I'll tell you how much I paid for all of them after the fact, but it was a steal. First, this one right here, Green Lantern 25. First appearance of Atrocitus and LaFreeze. Sort of a speculation book. It was hotter than it is now for a while, but it's still like a $10 book. There's a variant you want to look for on it, but still, very nice book to get. I got this one. Avengers 59, first appearance of Yellow Jacket. Very low grade copy, but when I tell you what I paid for all this, you'll understand why I picked it up. Action Comics 894, first appearance of Death in DC continuity. Beautiful Finch cover. The interior art's really gorgeous as well. It's kind of a fun story. It's basically Death chatting with Lex Luthor. Just an all-around really cool book. I've got this one as well. Superman Avengers #1. This is the special preview from the WB store. I'm sure some of you know the WB store closed back in 2006, so there's no more of them exist. But this was a special preview that was given out about a month or two before the actual Superman Adventures came out. So it's sort of the first time any of that story was shown. People want to ask for a lot of money for this. I did a little research after the fact. Anywhere from $20 to $80 I've seen. A few months back, one sold for $20. I don't really know what it's worth, but I couldn't leave it because they're relatively hard to find. XMen 193. I picked this up solely because it's the first appearance in continuity of this character right here, Firestar. I was a big fan of Firestar as a kid, so it was kind of a no-brainer. And the last book I got, I paid for all those books you just saw, and the one I'm about to show you, I paid $40. This is a very low-grade book, but for the bundled price that I was offered, I couldn't leave it. Green Lantern 87, first appearance of Jon Stewart, and second appearance of Guy Gardner. Neil Adams cover. I'm sure you all recognize this book, very iconic. Yeah, for that price, I could not leave it there. I thought about getting Neil Adams to sign it, but he was charging $50 for most signatures, $60 for some books, and I didn't want to find out what this one would cost me, and I didn't want to wait in his line. But yeah. Oh, and he did have his trademark blue shirt. But very happy about finding this book. Then I hit another store, or another booth rather, and I ended up paying $10 for everything I'm about to show you. Very, very happy about these ones. Found this, Savage Dragon #1, newsstand copy. In these early Image comics, there's one newsstand for about every 100 direct editions, so they're pretty hard to find. I didn't find just one. I found 2, 3, and 4 of them. And they're all near mint condition. I haven't taken them out of the bag and given them a hard look yet. There's no spine ticks or anything that I can see. The corners seem pretty good. So very happy to get 4 newsstand copies of that. And the last book I got from that booth, again, I paid $10 for all this. The Amparella 19. The Money book for Lucia Gorilla. Gorgeous, gorgeous book. Been looking for it for a long time. Super happy to get it. It's honestly probably about a VF plus. It has some spine ticks down here, but I'm not really complaining at all because it's gorgeous. Happy to finally find one, and at the price, I couldn't leave it there. And the last book I picked up, I wasn't going to pick it up initially, but then I took a closer look at it, and it won me over, I guess. I paid $20 for this. Tales to Astonish 37. 4th appearance of Hank Pym. 3rd appearance in the Ant-Man costume. Jack Kirby cover. And it has a date stamp for 1962 right there. It has everything I'm interested in. I couldn't leave it. Sort of a key issue. Great artist. And a date stamp. It was made for me. But yeah, that's everything I picked up at this con. I wish I had a little bit more money because there's some booths I didn't hit, and I'm pretty certain they probably had decent stuff because they usually do, but I didn't want to tempt myself. There's always next year, but like I said, overall really happy with this. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know I certainly did. So that's everything, and take care, guys.